And welcome back, everybody. This is episode 3 of The Last Plague Blight. And this is the Cajun Gaming Guild. And hopefully, you will enjoy this next episode. We're just ending on day 2 here. And tonight, we are going to go to bed, but we still have a little bit of time before nightfall. And the last episode I did finish off this little 2x2 shack. We got a little bit of firewood. We have about 6 hours worth of fuel. So before it gets too dark, I am going to go out here right now. We're going to cut down a couple more trees. And in the morning, we are going to focus a lot on making some clay. We are going to find some clay, and then we're going to make some clay items, bricks, bowls, maybe a few other things. It depends on how much I want to find and bring back with me. Eventually you're going to need quite a bit of clay. You're probably going to need probably 3 backpack fulls, inventories fulls, and you just make a stockpile and keep it once you have it. We're also going to start some charcoal piles tomorrow so we can have some charcoal for when we start with the kilns, etc. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be working on. We will try and work on knocking off some of the tutorial for anybody who is following along with that. That's totally up to you. You don't have to do the tutorial, I've said that before, but if you do, it's not going to hurt you. So I'm just going to chop up this large tree that I cut down. I am out of energy, or stamina, but I'm good. I don't see any coyotes around, so they shouldn't get after me. And I'm relatively close to my camp anyway, so I can just run back there if I have to. Alright, so this tree was big. It gave me 3 thick logs, and I believe it's going to give me 2 regular sized logs, which is awesome. That's a huge amount of stuff. So we will... Not enough space. It's because my offhand is carrying a large stick. So instead of throwing it away, I might as well just run back. I'm right here. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff that's on me. Alright. So I do not have a large stick stockpile anymore. So we might as well remake that. Get rid of everything else. And I have a little bit of dog bane. Might as well get rid of that as well. I see my food meter's gotten down a hair. So we will eat a few of these seeds up that I have on me. Just to get rid of them. I should get rid of that sausage really, because by not eating it I'm just leaving more space in my inventory that's being used up. So I will get rid of that tomorrow probably. So yeah, we'll run back here. We're going to grab this wood. It's all going to be turned into firewood. In the next day or two, you are going to see that we're going to make a saw. And with that saw, you will be able to saw down these logs instead of chopping them with the axe. And then you'll be able to make planks. So, but we're not doing that yet. So I need all the firewood I can get until then. Because when you start to make these charcoal piles, and you will see here tomorrow, it's going to require firewood to start them. Okay, you're going to need, for small ones, I think you need two pieces of firewood, and for medium ones you're going to need 4 pieces. Normally all I do is medium piles, but in order to advance the tutorial, it is asking you to make a small one. So we will make one small one just for the purposes of the tutorial to continue it along. But from that point on, all I'm going to be doing is making medium ones. Do you need a lot of charcoal? You do, but you're only going to probably make 3 to 4 piles of charcoal for your entire run. Alright? I don't think you're going to need any more than that. Maybe in future updates, if they make the game a little harder, you might need it. But for right now, 3 to 4 piles of charcoal is going to be plenty. All right? Because you're not just going to throw all your charcoal into a kiln and just let it burn out. That would be a complete waste of your resources. You're just going to put 2-3 pieces for like a couple hours, let's say, if that's all the work that you have to do for that day. And so just to conserve your charcoal. And I will show you what I mean when we start burning it there in a little bit. Alright, still don't hear the wolves howling. That's good news for us. So we are going to put this in the firewood pile. Might as well fill that right up. So you'll notice if you press T around firewood, it does not automatically pick it up until you have at least one piece of firewood in your hand. Okay? So once you pick up one piece of firewood, then at that point you can pick up T and it will pick it up automatically. Oop, there's the wolf howl, coyote howl, whatever you want to call it, dog howl. So we are going to hit the sack here in a few minutes. I just want to fill up that, so that should have 15 in it. That means it's full. You can't put any more there. I have 3 left on me, so we are going to add this to here, and it will allow me to put it, because that's only going to be about 9 hours worth of fuel, which is great. I'm going to drink up this water, boil some more. And I'm gonna go grab some more firewood since it's just right here. I shouldn't get attacked this close. Could, but I don't see anything around, so we're good. Now, I could put one more log, I believe, on that fire pit, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll take a quick look. So I'll make a stockpile for the rest of this. I have a stone right there, my stone bowl. I'll have to get rid of that. It's kind of in the way. I'm just going to put it in my chest for now, just to get rid of it. And we'll take one piece of firewood just to see if we can squeeze one more on the fire pit. And we can. So we have 11 hours and 5 minutes. Like I say, it's about 11 hours-ish. I don't think you can put 11 hours and 15 minutes, but I think it's under that. That would be the limit. Now, there's not much else we can do right now. We're just going to wait for this water to be finished. Because I'm not going to go roaming out too far. I can see a coyote over there, and they will start coming in as the night goes on. So, and you can't see that far anyway, even with the Alt key pressed. The items just don't show up unless you're right on top of them in the dark, or if you have a torch. Okay, so it's based off of how much light you have. We're going to drink up this water. That's going to almost fill us. And we'll fill that up again, and then we're going to hit the hay for the night. And we'll start the next day. Alright, here we are, day 3. The blight continues to spread. And you'll see that we have 1 day remaining before we have a visitor. We need some clay, and we need to make a small charcoal pile. So, our fire burnt out throughout the night, so there's only a couple hours left. So we are gonna, like I say, I don't like to let my fire go out. You might like to conserve on wood, but my goodness, once you get a cart going or a wheelbarrow, you are never gonna run out of wood. And I have a forest right here, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't want to have the hassle of running back with a bear chasing me, and I'm not sure what happened to my wood. It didn't add to the fire automatically, but I'll add it. Yeah, you don't want a bear chasing you, or a coyote, or a wolf, and you run to your fire hoping that it'll scare it off. Get there and your fire's out. That sucks, because it's not a 2-second thing to light it. You need to collect the things. You need to add them to your fire. So you're better off to just keep it going. But that, again, is totally up to you. Alright? I'm going to cut down another large tree to get a bunch more logs. Since we got plenty of energy, might as well use it up. Shuffle that tree, lands on you. Alright, collect all this junk. There we go. And we are going to start our first charcoal pile with these. You can bring the charcoal pile closer to your place. You can build it out here. It honestly does not matter. The animals are not going to bother it. Alright? So you can just leave it out here in the wilderness if you don't want to take up more room next to your camp. And all it's going to do is burn away. And so I'm just going to make it right out here, a little bit away from my camp. And I'll show you how that's done. It's not too difficult to make. And if you were to hover over the quest down here, it will give you details. And I'm going to show you that here in a second once I'm done chopping up these logs. So if you hover over this, it's going to say, let's see, pick up the firewood, open the build menu, and then place down the small charcoal pile near your camp. I'm not doing it near my camp, but I'm still going to do exactly what it says. So it does give you kind of a hint on how to make this charcoal pile. I'm going to pick up some firewood. I'm going to right click, going to click build. There's a medium charcoal pile or a small charcoal pile. So we're going to make the small one. And I'm just going to put it right here. Alright? Now that took 2 firewood and a few sticks out of my inventory. I still need a few more sticks. And you're going to see that I'm going to need a bunch of dirt or mud. Dirt is everywhere. And mud is everywhere. Because all you need for mud is a little bit of water. And you just pick up some dirt with water in a bowl, let's say, and you can make mud right from your inventory if you want. Or if you go close to the edge of the lake and it's not sand, because you see right here it's sandy, you're not going to find mud here, you're going to find sand. But if you walked around the edge of the lake a little bit to where there's dirt, well, that's dirt. So right over here you see dirt. You're probably going to find mud. You're not always going to find mud, but you probably will find some. So we are going to build that charcoal pit. So we're going to need a bunch of dirt or mud. For charcoal pits, what's the point of making it mud when you can just use plain old dirt that's all over the place? You can see wherever my mouse is hovered right now, it says dirt collect. So all I have to do is hold the control button and click the ground. So one thing I'm going to do is I want to clear a little bit of an area so I don't have bushes in all my kilns, in my different things that I'm going to be making, my bloomeries, my workbenches. I'm going to set up a work area here somewhere that's not covered. I don't cover that. And I'm going to want it clear. I don't like bushes sticking through my things. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start in an area with the dirt, and I'm going to start collecting dirt right here. And then you'll see, if you see just one round, it took a little bit of the grass and bushes away. So if you just keep clicking in the area, you eventually, if you hit it right, you're going to collect that bush right out of there. And then I'm just going to keep moving, and I'm going to keep collecting the stuff in the area. And all I'm doing is clearing out a nice flat area, free of grass, free of bushes that are visually going to be in your way. And you might not care about that, and I don't really care about it, to be honest, but I just like to have a nice little neat workspace, because you are going to have a bunch of molds, and once you put these molds down, they can be covered by the grass, and then it's hard to see them, and then you're trying to click on them to put your molten metal in them, and you can't hit them because they're covered by grass. Alright, so I just clear out a good sized area for where I'm going to have my workstations, and you can see it's not taking me a ton of time. Alright, but if it's a very heavily bushed area, it will take you a little more time. That was a big giant bush that I got rid of there. And yeah, just keep moving around, and you will get to areas where it won't allow you to click, and that's because there is so many bushes and things there. It's so thick that the mouse pointer cannot really detect that there's dirt underneath. So you might have to gather the dirt around the area and work your way in. And it is possible to do. I've been in areas where there was one little section of area that you could click on dirt, and within a few minutes I was able to completely clear the area. It was completely flat and completely bare. But it just took a little bit of time because I had to, like right here, there's no dirt. But if I was to just click here, and just keep working my way in, eventually it will clear out. That's how it works. Okay, so I cleared out a little area. I'm going to definitely want it bigger than this, but I just needed a little bit of dirt to make this mound. So we're going to run back over here, and we are going to add it to our charcoal pile. All right, it only needed 2,000, and you can see my inventory is filled with dirt. You could manually drag them off, throw them away, but all that's going to do is be a pain in the butt and a waste of time. All you have to do for dirt, right click on it, and you can discard everything in your backpack at once. It does not go on the ground, it's just gone. It deletes it. All right, and that's a quick way of getting rid of dirt. So we still need 4 more sticks. I have one sitting right next to me, and I'm sure there's some around. 2 more there, and a couple up here. So I'm just might as well collect these big long sticks because those are definitely going to be needed. We'll add these to the charcoal pile, and we'll build it up. There we go. Now you've seen how to build your first charcoal pile. It's a small one, and it says here ignite it. So now, just like your fire pit, when you click on it, you need your little piece of flint, and then you're going to need some tinder and some kindling. So we do have pine branches. We're going to rip some of those apart. We might as well just rip them all apart because we can use those later. We have 2 twigs. We're going to need a couple more twigs. I could break the branches down, but there's plenty around. I'm just going to go run in the woods, grab some more stuff, because you always need stuff. Just might as well just fill up on all this good stuff that we see here. Some dog bane, nice. And stick over here. And we're good. So, we're going to go back here. We're going to add the leaves and the twigs and get this lit up, and you're going to see that it's going to smoke, and it says time remaining 4 hours 26 minutes. So this will take that long in the game time. If you did this right before you went to bed, it takes 8 hours to sleep usually. By the time you woke up, this would be completely finished. And what happens is this charcoal pile is just going to spit out all the charcoal in this little area. So I just come back later and pick it all up off the ground, which is no problem whatsoever. The animals aren't going to steal it. The rain's not going to wash it away. So you can just do that whenever you feel like coming back to pick it up. Okay? So that finishes that quest. Now, it says here, basic metalworking. We are going to do that a little bit later, because for right now, I want to focus on the clay. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of this firewood. We have 4 inside of our fire waiting to be used up, which I'm going to use it before we go looking for clay, because we might be gone for a little while. And we want to start doing our clay. We want to start making mud bricks, so that's what it's saying. Collect some mud, and you will see what I mean from there. So let's get rid of the stuff in our inventory right quickly. Sticks. I don't have pine branches. I do have the leaves. Make up this rope right quick. What else do we have? Some pine nuts. We might as well eat those. There's some rope. I don't think we have any stones on us, so we will use some of these. And we'll put those down, eat up those few nuts that we have. Might as well drink that water before we go running off. So it could be a few minutes before we get back. Drink and fill that up. Alright. So now we are good. So we cannot add the fuel yet. So before I leave, I like to fill up my fire. So I'm just going to pull, I don't know, probably 3 logs will be max. Yeah, I can put 3. Then I'll just put the other one back there. I just won't add it yet. Alright, so now we're ready to go look for some clay. Or some mud, depending on which one of these you want to do first. And we are going to do the clay, because it's going to be a little hike. We're just going to basically, for now, you find clay around water. Alright, you can find them along lakes, you can find them along rivers, okay? So right now we're on a lake, there is no river touching it, but as you can see, there's a river really close by. So we're going to walk around our lake on one side, then we're going to hit the river up, we're going to collect any clay that we see there until we're full, or if we're not full, then we'll head back and we might hit up the other side of the lake if we didn't find enough clay, but we should be able to find tons of clay. It's not a super rare resource. You just might have to go a little distance sometimes to find it. And as you can see, I've already found a little patch. I knew it was here. I've seen it a few times already. But all you have to do is hit the control button and hit collect, the left button. And you're going to collect it. And you've seen I just hit dirt there by accident. So sometimes it takes a second to update. Make sure you're not clicking on the lake, because if you do that, you are going to drink water instead. And if you drink water straight from the lake, it's going to increase your blight bar quite a bit. So you do not want to do that by accident. Always just take a second, make sure that it says clay, not sand, not dirt, not mud, and collect it. I mean, if you need sand, dirt, and mud, yes, collect it. But if you don't, then just wait till it says clay. So we got all that clay. We're going to keep running around the lake, and we'll see if we can't find a few more patches. See where we're at. Alright. And soon we are going to cut over and we're just going to go right to the river. I find you're going to find way more clay on rivers than you are on lakes and ponds. That was the only clay pile that I've seen, or clay pit, whatever you want to call it. So you're better off to go to the rivers, and since we're there, we are going to go there right now. It's just right up here. Oh, I see a coyote, so we'll have to keep our eye on him. Looks like he's chasing a rabbit. So I'm just going to go right up to the next lake and start on one edge. Then I might swim across the river, as much as I don't love getting wet. Oh, actually, we could cross the river right there if we wanted. Walk down to this and just cross over and come back on this side of the river. So we'll already be on the right side. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Since I don't have to get wet right now, I'll just cross right here. And I already saw a pile of clay on the other side, so we will collect that right away. Oh shoot, I should have probably collected that as I walked by it, but we're good. Alright, so let's get this. I was going to collect some dirt there, but it just clicked off right quick. And you'll see there's a teeny tiny bit of clay there. It's only going to give you a little bit, but I just collect it anyway, just to have it. Alright, I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this. I'll go along the river's edge, collect a bunch of clay, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, well, I'm on my way back to camp now. I got to cross the river to get back on the other side. And I believe this is going to put us right on the other side of our little lake. Nope, it's not. I went down the river quite a bit further than I thought I had. So we are going to head back towards our camp. Oh, coyote, shoot. And I got too close, so that's what's going to happen. 2 of them, that's not good. But it looks like I got away pretty easy. I took a tiny bit of damage. 6 hit points. Very minor. You'll notice I ran towards the Blight there, because I thought if they chase me, sometimes you can just run on the edge of the Blight. You'll take a tiny bit of Blight damage, but they're definitely not going to follow you in there. And if they do, they'll usually run off in a different direction. Alright, so that's why I did that. It's just another little trick that I've learned. And Blight can be taken care of fairly easy once you figure out the recipes. So it's not a huge deal to me. I'm not going to go dive in a bunch of blight because it is a pain in the butt to collect the stuff, but it's not horrible. Okay, I see we have another rabbit trapped here, so we are going to kill it while we're walking by. I don't have room, and the reason why, I'll come back in a second, is because I collected a crap ton of clay. And I mean a crap ton. So we're going to put that into a stockpile for now, just to get it off of my body. I also collected a little bit of mud just to advance. It was asking me to collect 100 grams. And the reason for that is we are going to have to make I believe it is some mud bricks. We need 20 of them. So we're going to craft them right now. Mud bricks take 100 each, so I'll be able to make 10. And I believe you need 20 mud bricks to get the, let's see what it is. I think it is called a kiln. It's going to pop up here in a second, right here. Place a mud brick kiln foundation. So you can use one brick, that's all you need to start it. You're going to build and a mud brick kiln. Okay, so we're going to place that down. I'm not going to take it apart later, but it's not something you are going to use a whole ton. So what I do with this thing is I don't want it anywhere near my camp, because once you're done with it, you're not going to use it again, because there is an upgrade to this that holds more. It holds larger. I can't show it to you until I'm done building it, so let's quickly finish that off and I'll show you exactly what I mean, and then we'll get to the clay. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm looking for mud. So you can see it's still showing me that there's sand in this lighter area, but if you go where there is dirt, sometimes you can find mud. So like right here, there's mud. So I'm just going to hold control. We're going to dig up. We only need another 1,000 grams, so a couple hundred. 380, 4, 567, all right, 8, 9, that's enough right there. So that should be enough to make us another 10 mud bricks. And we will run up there and put that together. And I am going to show you what I mean here in a second. So we do have a little bit of mud left, and mud you will need later to make mud mortar. So I'm just going to put that down in a stockpile next to my clay. Unlike dirt, mud and clay you can stockpile. So there's no point in throwing it away because you will need some. And once you've collected it, you might as well just keep it. So our mud brick kiln is done. We're going to build it up, and I'm going to show you what I meant by you're only going to use it a few times. So what I use this for, and I will not follow the tutorial exactly for this one, even though I will be following the tutorial. It's going to tell me here in a few seconds to collect clay and sculpt a clay brick, but it's going to try and get me to build something different with the clay brick. But to speed things up, I'm going to make the bigger version of the mud brick kiln. Alright, because you see this firing area is tiny, and those bricks, they take up a good chunk of this area. I think you can only fit 6 bricks in here, maybe. I think they're 2 by 1, 1 by 2. So I'll be able to put 6 bricks in here at a time, meaning if I need 20 bricks, I need to do it 3 times just to get enough bricks to build something. And you're gonna need bricks. I think you need like 55, 60 bricks for all the good stuff that you're gonna need. And I don't want to be doing this that many times in this small tiny mud brick kiln. So the first thing I build is going to be the upgrade to this, and the area is huge. It's way bigger, and you're going to notice that once you start making jugs and jars and pots out of clay, you need to fire those as well, and those things are bigger than this area. So you wouldn't even be able to put them in here anyway. It's way too small. So we are going to go back, we're going to grab some clay, and we are going to make the upgrade to that, I believe you need 20 bricks, but I will check. You go to kilns, and it's a clay brick kiln. That's the upgrade to it. It's going to require 20 clay bricks, and it's going to require 2,500 mud mortar. I will show you how to make that in a few seconds. So we're going to take our clay. We're just going to take all of it, and we're going to make our bricks. Okay, We'll make 20-ish. Might make a few more, but you can always stack them. So there's nothing wrong with that. I will stack them. They're going to fall on the ground because I don't have enough room right yet until I use up some of this clay. But you can just pick them up from the ground. That's not a big deal. Alright, so we have 9, 10, 11, and probably enough on the ground. We might as well put that clay back in another stockpile over here out of the way. And we will pick up all these bricks. So we have plenty. We need to light that kiln over there. So we're going to bring 3 pine cones, because that's how many you need. And we need some leaves, a stack of leaves I usually bring. Alright, so one other thing I'm going to explain to you guys while we're doing this. This mud brick kiln, it's the only kiln available to you that will allow you to burn wood in the fuel area. Every other kiln is going to require you to put in charcoal, which is why you want the charcoal pits. So the only thing I like about this is I can go around and just collect little pieces of wood and put it in here and feed the fire, because right now it's only going to last 26 minutes, which is probably plenty to dry these 6 bricks, but when I get to the next 6 bricks I'm going to need more fuel. So you can see it doesn't give you much room in there, so we're just going to light this up. We're going to get a little bit of wood to make sure that the fire doesn't run out. Best way to do that is we are going to need one of these tree trunks, stumps. So I don't need all of them, so I'm going to get rid of this one here. And I'm going to show you what happens when I do. It's going to drop wood, sheesh, I can't even remember what it's called now. Scrap wood, okay? Scrap wood is not used for anything in this game, but you can use it for fuel. So that gives me 40 more fuel, and it cleaned up the stump. And you don't need a bunch of stumps, you only need 1 or 2. So I'm going to probably keep this one here since it's closest to my camp. And I've cleaned out all that dirt earlier, alright? So I'm probably just going to keep this stump alive, and everything else, well, we'll probably get rid of it eventually, okay? So, I don't think I need this stump here. So we'll probably get rid of this one as well. Oh, dirt, my bad. Alright, pick up all this. Go feed this fire. An hour, so now we have a couple hours. This is at, I believe that says 60-ish% or 40 some odd percent. It's a little bit blurry on my screen. Alright, so while that heats up, just gonna look around. Something I'm noticing. Earlier when we cleared out all that dirt for my work area, oh, here it is right here. It looks like it grew back a little bit, and it definitely will grow, okay? Once you get some stuff down, it won't grow back as quick, and you just have to keep cleaning it out. But usually, once I've cleared it out, it doesn't grow back this quick normally. So it could be just because I'm on a harder difficulty, because sometimes I play on the easy mode just to explore, etc., take my time and build. I do like building. So that could be why that grew back so quick. But normally, if you clear a big enough area, it doesn't grow back so quick, because right here is still pretty open. But anyhow, that's up to your discretion whether you even want to do that at all. But I do it, and you'll see that I'll do it in the game. So we're just about done with the first load of bricks. I'm just going to get rid of these, and there's still plenty of fuel, so we might as well put 6 more in. Get that one off in my offhand. I might as well cut down another stump for some more fuel. There we go, that gave us a ton. That was a large tree stump. And you can't put it all in at once. I think you can put in 5 pieces, add that, put in another 5 pieces. And just like the fire pit, it'll only allow you to put so much fuel in. So I'm just going to leave that there. And I'm just going to drop these couple pieces on the ground so I don't have to carry them around. So far we have 6 bricks that are cooked up. We're going to have 6 more. We'll have another load after that, 2 more loads after that, and we will be able to make our next level kiln. So while we're waiting, we're going to go, we're getting a little bit thirsty, so we might as well grab a drink of water. Again, the more you use your time wisely, the easier this game will be, no question about it. So while we're waiting for that, we'll cook up some more water. Looks like we're going to need some food. I did use up my last sausage while I was collecting clay. But we have that rabbit over there, and I better go collect that actually. We have some time, so we're going to go do that right now. Because otherwise a coyote or something will come along, and they will steal that from you. So, and it does rot. I probably could have just left it alive, I guess, till I was ready to come back. But okay, so it's still there, and it's still in pretty decent shape because we are going to cook it up right away. I never moved the snare that round, but I will come back and move it a little bit later because I don't really need too many rabbits right yet. So we'll put that on there as soon as that water is done. We're just going to drink it. Just about done. Drink that up and cook up some rabbit. Again, I know the recipes to make that rabbit taste better and go a little bit longer, but at this stage of the game, it's not that important, so I'm not going to do it right now. And I believe it is part of the tutorial, so you will eventually see it pop up, and I will be forced to do it to show you. So I'm just waiting for that point. Okay, so we're getting another 6, so that'll be 18 done, and then we'll just need a couple more, and it'll leave us 1 for a stockpile. We'll start a stockpile at 1, and because we're going to need a plenty of them. So while that's being made though, we are going to put the building down, or the kiln down, the clay brick kiln, just so we can get those bricks out of our inventory. And again, I'm going to need this basically right around this stump for my bloomery and my other kiln. I can't remember what it's called again, but so I don't want these touching that area directly, so I'm just going to move it off just a hair, and we'll put it up here because I do want it close enough to my base, just a little distance away. So we have 12. We need 2,500 mud mortar. So while those bricks are cooking, we're going to go over here. We're going to need more mud, so there's no point just taking that little bit of stockpile. We do need mud. I thought that was mud right there. It is mud, but it's just hard to click on. Hold on. Zoom in. Right there. Alright, so we'll collect some of this mud. You'll notice it's going to dig a hole. Anytime you dig ground up, it does get deeper and deeper and deeper, but to a certain degree, and then it'll just stop collecting mud. So if you don't like little holes all over your beach, well, maybe you just dig a few digs and move on to another area. Totally up to you. So that should be plenty of mud. I think I need 2,500, so that should be plenty. We're going to go over, we're going to grab some clay. We need 2,500, but it's only going to use up with whatever mud I have. So I didn't get too much because I didn't want to use up all my clay. So we're going to craft with, actually I'm going to craft with the mud because there's only a few things that you can make with mud, and one of them is the mud mortar. There's 2 different recipes. You can use dirt and water, or you can just use mud and clay, which is what we collected. So we're just it's gonna make us 2,900 worth of the mud. And it makes it all at once. You don't have to keep clicking the button or anything. And some of it fell on the ground. So we are going to put the clay down. And then we have a bunch of mud mortar. Everything that's left is mud mortar. So I might as well pick this stuff up that fell. We're going to walk over. Oh, sorry. We just passed by it. We're going to put that in there. So now that's good. And all we need now is to finish up our bricks. And it is finished. So what are we at? About 90%. Alright. So it's coming along pretty good. So again, this is 2,500. Now we have a bunch of mud mortar that we're not using, and we are going to be building the rest of our kilns, etc. right here. So I'm not going to bother going too far with this. I'll just leave it right here. And yeah, so we can get to it a little quicker. Alright, these are finished. We only have 3 left. I could have made, actually, you know what? I might as well make a bowl, because it is telling me, can you sculpt a clay bowl? So I'm going to do that. We'll sculpt us a clay bowl. And also, we are going to start making nails right away, even though that's not right handy here. And we are going to need a crucible for that. We are also going to need a nail mold. Alright. So we are going to make that. Remember how I said you could make roof out of clay tiles? This is how you would do that. It's right here. Okay. You are going to need a saw blade mold right away, so we're going to make that. And what I like to have to cook with is a pot, but pots are huge and they take a ton of my clay right now, and I do need to make bricks, so I'm not going to waste it on a pot just yet. Instead, I am going to make a jar, just one. That's all we're going to use for now. But that should help us speed things up in the cooking department. And so yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, I can't pick it up, so let's see. Can I pick it up now? I can. Good. And we might as well get rid of this clay. There's no point carrying it around, because we are going to need to make bricks, but we're going to wait till this kiln is finished to do that. And we're not going to do it right away anyway. We're going to continue along on our quest. Well, we might do it right away. We'll see. So for now, I can fit a bowl. I can fit the nail mold in there. I cannot fit this because it is a 2x2 and there's just not enough room right yet. And this is even bigger than that. I would have been able to fit it in there. It's just not with all the things that are currently inside my firing area. So we're just going to chill out. Once these bricks are done, I'm just going to, well, I could fire these up in here since the fuel is already there and it is already burning, instead of wasting my time building the other one for these specific items. So I might as well just use it. But for all the future items I make, I'm going to use the other kiln, because it does have more room and it will hold the bigger items. I don't think this will fit in here. It'll show you that it'll fit, like it's a 3x3. But when you actually go to put it in there, it says there is not enough room. It'll give you an error and it'll put it back in your inventory. So if you try to fire up a jar in here, it will not work. You do need the bigger kiln for that. Alright, we're just about done. 90-ish%. And we are going to go finish off that other kiln. And then we are going to be set for clay. Anything we need to make at this point will be a lot faster, a lot easier, and life will be a tiny bit easier. Alright, so add from inventory, we'll build this up. And again, just like anything else, you're going to need to put tinder and kindling to light it. We're not going to right now, because we don't really need this jar right yet. But I'm just going to put it in there to get it off my body. We do need charcoal. That's the only thing that will run in the kiln. So we will leave that there. But we're going to go back here and put this in there. Our little crucible that we're going to need to melt down metal later. And we're going to go find our little pile of charcoal that we burnt up, our small pile. You can see that it's been finished now, and all the pieces are on the ground, so we're just going to pick those up. And I'm going to go back to my kiln, and I don't think I'm going to need all 15. So if you don't want to waste it, don't put all 15 when you light it. You can start with 5 and you can just add a piece here, add a piece there, add 5 pieces here, add 10 pieces. It's totally up to you. But I start off with an hour and 23 is going to definitely fire a round of everything. Doesn't matter what you have here, it should finish anything off once. And then, but if I plan on doing a bunch of stuff, I might want to put another 2 or 3 in there and get it to like 2 hours, let's say. But for now, 5 is definitely going to be plenty. So there's no point wasting the other 10 charcoal pieces. I'm going to put those in my chest for now, just to keep them for later. Okay, we finished off sculpt a clay bowl and fire it off. So now it's asking me to, so we're going to get our clay bowl, we're going to get our clay nail mold, and we are going to come over here and place that mold. I'm going to probably put my crucible kiln here, right near here. So I'm going to put this mold on the ground, and you place it. If you drop it, you won't be able to use it. You must place it on the ground. But I want to be able to see it pretty clearly, so I'm going to put it in this area where there's no grass growing. Because it is kind of small, the nail mold. And we'll just leave it there. It's not going to get hurt. It's not going to get damaged. The odds of an animal attacking it are super rare. Alright. Now, clay bowls. Why did we make a clay bowl instead of our stone bowl? Why is it telling us to do that? Well, it's because clay is a lot more efficient than stone. Alright. So it will tell you it holds 200 mils. 200 mils, same size. But it does say that it's more efficient. I thought it did say that. Let me just look. Needs to be equipped. It doesn't really say it, but I know it to be. Okay? Due to low heat transfer of stone, cooking takes longer than usual. That's what it says for the stone one. This one here cooks a little bit faster, and it's just more efficient. It helps you save time. So what I do is I replace that stone bowl with the clay bowl. If I can actually replace it. That's not okay. It's just being a little bit of a pain there. And we're going to grab the other stone bowl because you don't need them anymore at this point. And I made 2 by accident. So I'm just going to go take a little walk, and I'm going to create a little trash pile up here. It's totally up to you if you want to do this. You can make a chest and just store all your garbage in that. But you're going to get pebbles later on. You're going to get a whole bunch of different crap that there's no way to stockpile it. And I don't really want to waste space in my chest, and I don't want to see it. So I just walked a little bit of ways from my camp, and I'm dropping it on the ground. I'm just going to leave it there. So maybe in the future, the dev will put in some kind of garbage system. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, this episode has lasted about 30-ish minutes, I believe. I haven't really looked, but it's probably getting close, if not a little bit beyond that. So I am going to end this episode here. We've made our kiln, we made our upgraded kiln, and we are ready to start making metal really soon. That'll probably start happening tomorrow. We're going to continue on our quest here. We're going to start finding some chamomile flowers. I already have some, but I'm going to go into better detail about them and what they do. And we should end the day in the next episode, and the next day we're going to have a visitor. So we will see you then. Thank you very much for watching. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe and like button, that would be greatly appreciated by me. I thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.